Hey everyone, in this video we'll be taking a look at the Tier 7 Premium UK Tank Destroyer AT-15A. The tank is currently earnable as a Stage 75 reward with Basic Season Pass, and as I always say, make sure to buy the Basic Season Pass. It costs 2000 and you get 2000 plus gold back in return if you can finish the season. So what's special about this tank? Well, it is relatively an older tank. However, it is preferential, which means it will not see tier 9s. And most of the time you will be top tier, facing tier 5s and 6, and sometimes tier 8 as well. But a preferential tank, they have decent matchmaking. But you might ask, I just like my regular tech tree one. Well, this is essentially a down tiered AT-15, which is a tier 8, because the tech tree tier 7 tank, it only has 5 degrees gun depression. The gun arc isn't that great. The British tanks don't get that amazing gun arc of 25 left and right, as well as the 10 degrees gun depression until they get to tier 8. However, with this tank, which is essentially AT-15, right, just a slightly worse version of it, you get that benefit of having that absolutely amazing gun arc as well as the gun depression. The entire line suffers from speed, right? So this isn't a very crazy fast tank. It goes slow as well. It does have slightly worse DPM than the Tech Tree Tier 7, but it's not bad. You know, considering Pref Tank, it does have enough pen that it can go through the tanks it is fighting. It's not going to struggle against them. The premium is APCR. Of course, the alpha isn't the greatest either. It's only 150. So tank is balanced. Just do keep in mind it is slow, and our current matchmaking isn't very favorable to slower tanks. Also only has 1050 hit points. So the tier 8 ATD comes with 1500, right? But it does face the tier 10s as well. So if you think about it, this tank is pretty solid. You know, it fights the tanks that it's supposed to very well. Armor is workable as long as you're top tier. It's not going to work against tier 8s or even some tier 7. So you do have the armor, but don't rely on it. Just don't drive out in the open. It can work time to time if they're using standard, poorly aimed shots. So it does have the raw armor, but if they aim at your hatch or use premium, it will go through it. So the tank does have everything, but at the same time, it's not the greatest because it is slow, right? At only 150 alpha. It is favorable to newer players, but at the same time, newer players prefer that high alpha, right? Which this tank doesn't provide. It does have that armor that can hold up, you know, if it's the top tier, but then it is slow where they can't like run away. But at the same time, the speed is not much of an issue if you're a newer player, but this tank might not be that exciting for experienced player. You might take it out for a spin here and there, but other than that, it isn't the most fun tanks for a long session. Still a solid tank. It can do what it's supposed to do. Does have decent rate of fire. So we're in Hailbron, as you can see. I started from the back. He has a more of a sniper role, because armor just works better as the game progresses because there's less tank looking at you and less angles you can get shot from, and you can prioritize tanks. So started the sniper role. They had the cap pressure on. Now moving forward with the speed of light, which apparently is only 10 kilometers per hour in this game. And finally, once we peek over this ridge, hopefully we'll see something. And with the hit points, do keep in mind, you probably, if a tier 8 pens you like a tank destroyer, you will take 2 to 3 shots depending on the alpha. So you do keep in mind, you know, like don't rely too much on the armor, because armor is essentially the combination of your armor and hit points, the survivability basically. So did get lucky there. 1020 blocked. Not so lucky from the right side. Got penned. Lost 40% of my HP there. But as you can see, the armor did work a little bit here. So have to be careful with these peaks. The cap pressure is on. Our team is pushing down the one line. Wanted to peek again to get some shot, and there's that poor tier 6. No match. And that's what I was saying. This tank is really strong when you're fighting these tier 6s and tier 7s, because they're not gonna pen you. Or sorry, tier 5s, and you can just shred them in no time. Scorpion G gets spotted, and I think it was him that bounced off me as well earlier. And bringing my total to 1600. Cheeto, he's trying to cap. He is optimistic. I should have backed up because I'm being targeted, but I just didn't really care. And also poorly aimed shot. I ended up bouncing another bounce. Everyone is looking at me. Bang! That's artillery hit. 200 plus damage. Down to 449. Targeted again. Artillery is looking at me again. There are two artillery. Got penned. And that's what I said, like, you can block some damage, but there were like a lot of T-rates in this game. And of course, artillery is giving special attention to AT-15, because why not? Artillery loves the slow-moving targets. As if speed isn't suffering enough, our artillery will give you that special attention or treatment. Shrek goes down. We are winning easily. As I said, and this is you know, the lack of speed kind of where you can get frustrated, right? But here and there, it's a prep tank, right? It's a tier 7 where you won't even see tier 9. So overall, you'll be happy playing this tank. And when you're playing this tier 7 log at tier 8, there are a lot of maps that you only get when you play up to tier 8 matchmaking. So you have higher chance of getting mines, you have higher chance of getting White Park, Port, Liberty Falls. Those are the maps you don't see if you're regularly playing regular tier 7 or 8 that much, because you ended up facing tier 9s. That's another hidden benefit. So artillery got spotted, took out one, did some damage to other, and now just waiting for the last few tanks. So yeah, a decent game, and a decent tank as well, right? So other than that, if you're still not in a regiment, we do have a community clan. You can join any regiment, to be honest. Just make sure you earn the points, ready coins, because you can use that coins to buy currency from regiment store. Don't miss out just because you're not in the clan. You will not earn points, and doesn't mean joining a regiment you have to play with someone, right? You get the bonus and all, and just join any regiment. Everything is the same benefit. But if you don't have regiment in mind, make sure to check out our regiment link in description _low-key, as well as a community Discord as well. So that is it for this video. Do let me know in comments, are you planning to play this tank? Are you already in a regiment, looking to join one? And I'll catch you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.